It's coming soon, why would you assume something different? Smacking Off the podcast is preparing now to tell you why your team is so horrendous. Oh dear, what a shame, always the same game. Loser at all things, no luck that it brings. Fails at every try, can't help but sigh. Clumsy and dim-wit, can't seem to quit. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Smack It Off the podcast is coming soon. Why would you assume something different? Smack It Off the podcast is preparing now to tell you why your team is so horrendous. Oh dear, what a shame, always the same game. Loser at all things, no luck that it brings. Fails at every try, can't help but sigh. Clumsy and dim-wit, can't seem to quit. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Smack It Off the podcast is coming soon. Why would you assume something different? Smack It Off the podcast is preparing now to tell you why your team is so horrendous. Oh dear, what a shame, always the same game. Loser at all things, no luck that it brings. Fails at every try, can't help but sigh. Clumsy and dim-wit, can't seem to quit. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Smack It Off the Podcast is coming soon. Why would you assume something different? Smack It Off the Podcast is preparing now to tell you why your team is so horrendous. Oh dear, what a shame. Always the same game. Loser at all things. No luck that it brings. Fails at every try. Can't help but sigh. Clumsy and dim-wit. Can't seem to quit. Trips over on feet. Defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Trips over own feet, defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Smack It Off the Podcast is coming soon. Why would you assume something different? Smack It Off the Podcast is preparing now to tell you why your team is so horrendous. Oh dear, what a shame. Always the same game. Loser at all things. No luck that it brings. Fails at every try. Can't help but sigh. Clumsy and dim-wit. Can't seem to quit. Trips over on feet. Defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach any goal. But hey, don't you fret, you're not beaten yet. Keep on trying, friend, maybe luck will bend. Smack It Off the Podcast is coming soon. Why would you assume something different? Smack It Off the Podcast is preparing now to tell you why your team is so horrendous. Oh dear, what a shame. Always the same game. Loser at all things. No luck that it brings. Fails at every try. Can't help but sigh. Clumsy and dim-wit. Can't seem to quit. Trips over on feet. Defeat is so sweet. Pathetic poor soul can't reach. non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, narcisetto gino d'amor, delle belle turbando al riposo, narcisetto gino d'amor.
Welcome college football fans to another weekly installment of
Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls
with Dr. Balls.
All right, guys, welcome to Smacking Off the Podcast. This is Dr.
What's
Balls.
going
This is Dr. Balls. We're with our producer, Doug Phillips, and we have our special guests, right? And then we have our cast member, Nikki, and our special guest, Landon Beamon. How y'all doing tonight?
What's going on? Hey, and Ed is here, so I'm going to add Ed to the stage. I don't know if Ed's going to talk. He said he had a heart attack.
I'm just going to listen.
Sorry, no, he didn't have a heart attack.
I'm a supporter.
Okay.
Oh, you're a key contributor for definitely. We love you.
I'm a supporter tonight, and I'll be on the next Donkey Balls next week.
Okay,
It's a short
we
segment.
have
I didn't want to take up other people's time, but I wanted to listen.
I got you. So we've got 5 doors tonight, and Billy Napier is not behind any of them. That's fucking amazing.
Thank you, Old Miss.
All right. No. Mississippi State.
Oh, Mississippi State. Well, them too.
Ole Miss is going to be mad about that. Lane's going to be mad about that when he hears that you said that.
What?
Well, no, he won't because he's coming to Florida.
Dr. Balls, go ahead and send Lane a clip.
Please do.
We're going to send him a clip of Donkey Balls. He's probably going to enjoy it because his team is pretty good. But right now, Florida has already been determined to suck Donkey Balls. That's why we don't have to cover that ground again, right? But
there's no reason to.
But you did make a great
Till
statement
next
in the
week.
chat. He could save his own job by winning out.
He could.
No, I don't.
But, I mean,
don't
what
think
does he have to do that? He's got to beat Georgia? Who else has he got to beat? I mean, it's not going
Old
to happen.
Miss. He
Go
does
win
have to
that.
beat Old Miss. UCF this weekend.
Mm.
Like we'll be talking about Florida next week when we lose to UCF.
Now, if they lose to UCF, they're going to jack him right then. So, what's behind door number 1? Which team do we want to talk about that sucks Donkey Balls?
I think I'm just gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick one.
All right.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, hit some donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks donkey balls. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Bouncing, open your mouth and get a big butt. Suck them dry.
All right, Brent Venables, your team sucks donkey balls. Your team made a horrible offensive showing at home. They also proved that SEC defensive line was stouter than their offensive line, even though their defense looked better than Oklahoma for probably the last 20 years. They couldn't keep a hold of the football. They didn't take advantage of key moments. What do y'all think?
100%. But they found their new quarterback.
Yes, I like the kid.
You know, I mean,
I think
I could have lived with I could have lived with Venables losing the game. It's just if it would have been more competitive, and the game was not as close as the score indicated.
No,
it really wasn't.
And they made us look. And seriously,
till the end when they changed.
And there's no way to get away. There's no way to get around the fact that he made us all look like a bunch of dumbasses last week.
Yeah, I know. I kind of rode. I rode the Oklahoma +7, and despite everything that happened in the game, that shit was still alive. I mean, honestly, it really was at the last point, and I mean, but to y'all's point, I mean, yeah, it was just a terrible offensive showing. I mean, it was just really. It was one of the things like, the Tennessee dominated the line of scrimmage, especially on the defensive side, so much that it felt like it was worse than a 10-point game. But to Oklahoma's credit, I mean, they had the defensive formula to win the game. They 100% did. I mean, they held Tennessee in the run game. They forced turnovers. They had Nico under duress. I mean, they did everything that they needed to do defensively, But the problem is their offense turned it over so many times, so they gave Tennessee short fields. And I mean, honestly, it was one of the things I was shocked Tennessee only put up 8 points.
I agree. No,
Despite everything before the game, and Oklahoma was going to give Tennessee 3 or 4 years, and they were going to go 0 of 2 on 4th down conversions and give Tennessee the ball at like midfield or something. Everybody probably would have bet, okay, Tennessee probably dropped 40 plus easily, but no, it didn't happen. So I mean, credit to Brent Venables for having the defense ready at least.
No, it's ironic.
And I'm not sold on Tennessee.
It's ironic to me that Oklahoma had a dominant offensive team under Lincoln Riley, and now they got a defensive team that I agree with you, Landon. It looks like a hell of a defensive unit. And so, are they always going to be unbalanced to Oklahoma? Will they ever get it together?
Back in my day, you could bank on the fact that Oklahoma would cover. Being 7-point dogs at home, you could bank on that shit, and that's what I was going by. I mean, I figured Tennessee's walking into an environment that they don't typically do, and I didn't know if Oklahoma would win. I thought they might, and they could have won. I mean, they were in the game. They just they waited too long to get cranked up a little bit offensively. I mean, and their offense.
They needed to have pulled Arnold.
They created 2 key turnovers and then immediately turned it right back over on the next play both times, man. I mean, if you was trying to throw a game, you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was kind of getting at. Like that right there, that was the worst part of it all. It's not. It's like when the turnovers happened, because it basically made it to where Tennessee wasn't punished for turning the ball over because you just gave it right back. You didn't punish them.
Right. Maybe Oklahoma's just trying to piss off Tim.
That's what
and I mean, look, obviously, all the Oklahoma's decimated with injuries at receiver too. I mean, they got like 5 of their 6 receivers or 4 of their 5 starting receivers like out with injuries. Some are done for the year, which I've never seen a single position group get hit that hard, with an injury bug. But I mean, obviously, they could have had damn Jerry Rice at receiver and Terrell Owens and Randy Moss. It wouldn't have damn mattered at all because the O-line just couldn't handle. Tennessee plays so aggressive that they just couldn't handle it. They could not handle all that pressure and everything. It was just a perfect storm.
Now that I've seen Tennessee do that, now I believe that their defensive line is just as good or better than South Carolina's and probably better than Georgia's. From what I've seen, and they're going to crush Kentucky, guys. It's going to be ugly.
I guess we're just going to we're fixing to have that conversation. Are the balls for real? Because maybe they are. And
I'm still not sold on them.
You know what? I'm siding with Nikki out of pure emotion. I'm not sold on them.
It's not just pure emotion, but I heard.
No, for me it is. For me it is.
Weeks, talked about how bad Oklahoma was because who they played and they were having a hard time with them. Now they're on top of the world because they beat them, but yet Oklahoma was really bad as of, right before they played them. So I'm really confused on Tennessee fans in general.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make myself clear here. I was, just talking about their defensive line and everything, how they won the game, and they did. But in the same respect, in no way did this change my thoughts on Tennessee, winning the SEC or something like that.
No, they're not going to
win in the SEC to win. I mean, nothing changed for that game at all. Now, if they would have won like 45-10 or something like that, all right, yeah, maybe I would have changed. But despite Oklahoma looking just like hot garbage offensively, especially when Jackson Arnold was in at quarterback, there was nothing that Tennessee did not do anything for me that changed anything. They looked like the same team they did the last year. I mean, they have Nico at quarterback, and obviously I think he's better than Joe Milton. But at the end of the day, that offense, as I continue to say, if you contain the running game like Oklahoma did, they're not going to put up all these points. They're going to be held between that 20 to 28 yard mark or 28 point mark when you contain the running game.
All right, so Bama's got a chance even in Knoxville, eh?
Absolutely. As long as Jason Autry isn't the head referee, we're good.
Oh, I gotcha.
As long as he's not the head referee, we are good. Which, by the way, if he's the head referee for our game this weekend against Georgia, I may not watch the game.
Oh,
Do we
shit.
start a petition? Like we can
I
just
would
start
love
a
to,
petition.
because what he did to poor South Carolina against LSU,
Yep.
my God.
It was horrible.
I can't. I don't know how he has a job. I really don't. I mean, we always harp on all these players and all that stuff for their grades and how the coaches do with their the grading system and all that stuff. We can't have a referee grade in college football.
Oh, I agree. You should start
We
that
need
tomorrow.
We're all. I'm not trying to be like blame the ref thing. It's one of those things though. If we're going to hold everyone accountable, let's hold everyone accountable.
But at
Why
some
wouldn't
point,
we?
All
at
right,
some point, you have to play.
door number 2, guys.
Let's do
Hey,
that.
hey, hit some donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Bouncing, open your mouth and get a big butt. Suck them dry.
And behind door number 2, we have Lincoln Riley, a man with the unbalanced coaching record as well, who's proved he can coach offense but not defense.
I hated to throw Lincoln in here because we don't. Maybe Michigan's better than we think, but just the expectations going in. They were supposed to go over and win this game. They didn't. Defense has still got problems. If you can't stop Michigan, if you can't hold Michigan under 20, then you probably aren't playing good defensive ball.
They had 32 yards in that game.
Passing,
Their quarterback had 32 yards.
Yeah, especially when you're like literally one dimensional. They could have literally just stacked 10 guys in the box. Genuinely.
So it comes back to defense for Riley.
Yeah, same old story. Don't really need to hash much of Lincoln Riley because nothing's changed. Nothing ever will. It is what it is. Doesn't matter.
But I am encouraged. I'm sorry. I am encouraged by Michigan because Michigan showed that they can play a one-dimensional running game, and that might win them 8 or 9 games this year.
Oh, they're going to have to all year. That's just pretty much what the deal is going to be. They're just going to have to play one-dimensional, and, is what it is.
I think they got the bodies for that, though, and I think they're built for it, so therefore it's going to probably put them right outside the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a boring door, so we're gonna open another fucking door as quickly as we can, right?
All right.
All right, let's do this one.
Hey, hey, hit some donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Bouncing, open your mouth and get a big butt. Suck them dry.
Is it just me, or does this guy just look like he sucks donkey balls?
Well,
is that Brother Hugh? Is that Pastor Freeze?
Pastor Freeze, man.
Is that him?
9 out of 10 times.
What a great Christian man. Y'all know?
9 out of 10 times. They beat Arkansas.
Do y'all know he went to church on Sunday? Do you know Hank Brown sat in the pew next to him at church on Sunday?
Damn it, Jim.
NPC Hank Brown, shout out to Uncle Lou. Do y'all know that?
Did you know they had a revival?
Y'all know that? Y'all know Pastor Freeze went to church on Sunday in Auburn.
Oh, hell, he had a revival where he baptized thousands of people along with a Jewish guy who was the coach of the basketball. Him and Bruce Pearl baptized thousands there on the campus of Auburn, and I don't believe either one of them is righteous. And we know that Bruce Pearl isn't a Christian, so I don't know how he was baptizing them. No,
I'm telling you, Hugh's a godly man, man. I'm telling y'all, dude, got to give him more time. Godly man, a man you want to lead your kids into battle with. Brother
Lead them right to the escorts.
Brother Hugh. Give him a shout out, man. No, but in all seriousness, I'm so happy that this worthless piece of garbage is on this list. I'm going to tell y'all something. This is the biggest piece of shit in college football. No question, no doubt. All mothers and fathers that choose to send their kids to Auburn to play for this piece of shit ought to be beat.
Hallelujah.
You literally do not give a fuck about your child's well-being at all. Like don't. All you care about is the dollar signs that they're funding you. That's all the fuck you give about. This is the biggest piece of shit known to man. Not to mention, when he loses games, it's everybody else's fault, not Brother Hugh's fault. Oh, no. Oh, no. Accountability? Are you fucking kidding me? There is no accountability with Hugh Freeze. None. It's everybody else's fault. It was all Peyton Thorne and Hank Brown's fault for the turnovers. Hugh Freeze for not going to get a portal quarterback or not doing anything about it. That means absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. It's all their fault. No one else's fault. He didn't do anything wrong. If he goes 4-8, 3-9 this year, that is not his fault. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that's not his fault at all?
Well,
It's
no.
not. You know why it's not his fault? Because he's got a recruiting class coming in. He's got a recruiting class. Because I didn't know if y'all know this or not. I did not know if y'all knew that Brian Harsin apparently left the cupboard so bare at Auburn with no talent at all that they are so piss poor they can't out-talent out-talent New Mexico State, Maryland, California, Arkansas, potentially Vanderbilt, UL Monroe, Kentucky. They don't. Robert, I didn't know if you knew this. Kentucky has more blue chip players on their roster, top to bottom, than Auburn. Did you know that?
That's mind-boggling to me.
Isn't that something? I don't know. The recruiting service and all must be misprinting or something like that. I don't know, because I swore I read Auburn's got way over Kentucky. So I guess I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all apparently out-talent them. So when y'all beat the shit out of them in a few weeks, it has nothing to do with Mark Stoops just simply being a better coach than Hugh Freeze and out-coaching him. That has absolutely nothing to do with it.
He's definitely not a good coach.
You just have more talent.
We definitely seen an indicator of what type of coach he is by what he did against New Mexico State, and then he comes back the following week and comes within a fucking 4th down and 30 play of beating Alabama.
Unbelievable.
Awful. Fucking joke. Fucking joke.
He's got players.
So
this week, I can't wait. I can't wait to watch Oklahoma this week with whatever
Freeze at Auburn
dude they throw out at quarterback, and I hope they beat the fuck out of him even more, so I can sit here and watch that piece of shit get on a press conference. Well, I mean that, if we'd have played Oklahoma 9 times out of 10, we definitely would have won. I mean, I'm just telling y'all. I know we lost by 3 touchdowns today, but look, ain't my fault. I mean, it ain't nothing my fault. That's the biggest piece of shit. I would be embarrassed as an Auburn fan to sit here, pay my hard-earned money to go to Jordan-Hare Stadium to watch that piece of garbage literally ruin a program. I mean, genuinely embarrassing.
Is he going to be the coach next year?
No, he's not. Every Auburn fan that has argued, if Hugh Freeze goes 3-9 or 4-8, we still aren't firing him. He just needs a quarterback.
But yet the Auburn fans are the ones that are all about get rid of Billy, which I know he's not the best right now, and he's not my happiness. But I'm sorry, Hugh Freeze is 10 times worse than Billy ever could be.
But I actually see hope for Florida as the whole thing. I think that Lagway's a good player. I think if they actually got it together and had some kind of system that made sense, that Florida is a better prospects than Auburn if they retain three.
I agree.
Billy Napier is a prime example of this. Nikki, what was y'all's record very first year under Billy Napier?
We went 6.
6 and 7?
Yeah.
6 and 7. What was your record year 2 under Billy Napier?
We got destroyed, if you remember, at the Las Vegas Bowl against Oregon
State.
Yep.
Yes. What year? What was your record last year?
5-8.
5 and 7.
Yeah,
5 and 7. So you didn't make a bowl game.
Nope.
All right. How's this year going for you? Year 3.
Not
great,
wins.
right?
Probably but it's getting better every year. I mean, getting better every game.
Probably on the verge of being fired, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I've lost faith in him.
You brought in a pretty good recruiting class, didn't you? DJ Lagway, top quarterback, all that. Yeah, didn't you?
Yeah.
How's it working out? It's not great.
We're not playing them.
Well, it's not great. You know why it's not great?
Yeah.
You know why it's not great? Your pilot, Billy Napier, is crashing the plane still.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He's got a lot of fine seats, a lot of first-class seats in the thing, main cabin. He's got everything there. Good, comfortable cushions, everything like that. Plane's still crashing though.
It's
Same
gonna
thing with Auburn. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the Jimmies and the Joes when you can't even fucking coach them.
My thing
Right.
is
You
you
can't
can't
even coach them.
compare. You can't come after our coach, which I'm already and our fans are sick of. They want rid of him. They don't give a shit anymore. When you're defending this guy that can't even beat New Mexico State, which means you're going to lose
I
to Vandy this
understand.
year.
I
Yeah,
understand.
Vandy.
He might lose to Vandy this
No,
year.
he
He
will
might.
because it's the same quarterback.
Sure. And you know what? He probably will. And the thing is that they don't understand. Florida went 6-7, then they turn out 5-7. If Auburn goes 6-7 in year one, and in year two they rattle off 3-9 and 4 or 4-8, however, I mean, y'all look at the schedule. If when you look at the schedule, it's screaming 3-9 or 4-8 the way it's looking right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I've asked this question. I'll ask y'all: have you ever known of a head coach to win just 6 to 7 games in year one? And then in year two, he doesn't even win enough games to be bowl eligible. And then all of a sudden in year three, he turns around the program and everything's okay?
No.
No, you haven't. You know why? Because it's not going to happen. The program is still going to go down the toilet. So
It's
to
the
all
improvement.
Auburn fans, when you are staring at 3-9 and 4-8 after Alabama whips your ass in Tuscaloosa, after that Iron Bowl, when you get through with that and you're staring at that record,
Ugly.
there is no fucking way you were going to sit here and tell me, man, we can't fire Hugh Freeze. I mean, dude, we got a top 10 recruiting class coming in. You are full of fucking shit.
Well, right
You
now you
absolutely can fire him.
Yeah.
You
y'all keep
absolutely
losing. You
can.
won't. That's the thing is you keep losing. You don't have a top 10 because they're going to decommit.
Yeah, exactly. You know what helps recruiting? Winning games. Not losing games, winning games.
I
And
think
blaming
Oklahoma's
your
gonna crack.
players for losing those games.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and look, hey, recruiting's great, but ask Jimbo Fisher how much it works out. Not great.
Really well.
Not great again. Not great again. But you know what? When you fire Gus Malzahn, which you never should have done, and you end up with Brian Harsin, and now through 17 games, guess what, fellas? Hugh Freeze has a worse record than Brian Harsin. So what the fuck is it?
That's crazy.
All right, door number 4, guys.
Well, Hugh Freeze has a worse quarterback situation. Well, guess what? Brian Harsin had TJ Finley.
Here they come. Your team sucks. Donkey balls bouncing. Bouncing, open your mouth and get a big butt. Suck them dry.
When you let an FCS team drop 70 points on you at home, your days, you might set the donkey balls. And your days as a coach, though spectacular at times, may be over. So, in my opinion, guys, North Carolina, that's donkey balls.
Time
there's
for
no doubt.
retirement.
And this Mac Brown, he's
that's pretty
famous
bad.
for having had some success in the 2000s. And a lot of people thought that there was a lot of cheating that went on to get there. And he hasn't really shown anything since then. He's had top-notch quarterbacks in North Carolina, such as Drake May. And obviously he's able to build a staff if he wants to. But I think when you get to be as big of a coach as Mac Brown, that you might hire coaches that are your friends and keep them around because y'all are enjoying the nice North Carolina the way of life and standard of living. You know what I'm trying to say? So they kind of can get entrenched at these universities that are mid-level football teams, and it's hard to root them out. But when you lose to an FCS team at home, and not only that, tied for the most points ever given up by North Carolina. An FCS team scored 70 points on North Carolina.
No, hold on. What team was this?
James Madison.
I believe James Madison is now a FBS scorer.
Well, I mean,
Let me look them
This is
up,
their
guys.
second year.
I mean, but even if it was Marshall that put 70 points on them, I mean, somebody like that, or Memphis, or
Still a team that shouldn't be able to go into North Carolina and do that.
and put
They're
70
still
points.
not bowl
Didn't they
eligible.
lose their head coach to Indiana too? Kurt
Yes.
Janetti or things.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They scored
that's
52
even
by
worse.
half.
That's even worse.
They scored 52 by the half, and believe it or not, James Madison had scrubs in the second half.
Yeah, they took off in the second half, didn't they? They
Yeah.
took a break, man.
Yeah, they put in second, third string guys and were rotating them in and out. I watched a big chunk of that
That's
game.
embarrassing as shit. If Carolina took football seriously, he'd probably be out right now.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part of it all. It's not even that they allowed 70. Allowing 53 in one half is like even worse.
Oh yeah, that's video game shit.
Y'all
I
think
mean that I can't even do that on college football 25.
Do you remember when Bobby was getting up there and no one wanted to fire him or get rid of him because he's Bobby Bowden? This is Mac
Right.
Brown. He's getting at that stage where he's no longer even the coach. Bobby wasn't the coach anymore those final few years. So I feel like that's what we're seeing. Mac's not coaching. He's just on the sidelines.
He's just collecting a paycheck, right?
Yeah, because this isn't Mac Brown.
That's
I mean,
exactly
come on.
what that's exactly what Bobby was doing at the
You
end.
know,
I
he
mean,
wasn't-
they interviewed him after the Alabama game in 2007, and he basically described part of the game that he thought that changed the whole dynamic of the game. The only problem is he described an Alabama touchdown and not a Florida State touchdown.
and because Fisher was actually coaching at the time of him going off the deep end. I mean, he was the coach in waiting at that point. Yep. And so I feel like I don't know if he has a coach in waiting or he's just allowing the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, someone to do what they want to do. But this isn't Mac Brown. This isn't how he coaches football. They did not even look like a Mac Brown team.
It's expensive having a beach house on the Outer Banks, guys. I just spent time there earlier this year. I mean, if you're Mac Brown, you're having a great retirement there while you're still coaching and getting a massive amount of money from North Carolina. You got to be a happy camper. But I think sooner or later they're going to have to shuck him and move on with the new reality of the college football playoff.
All right, so we got one more door to open. So let's go ahead and open this motherfucker.
Hey, hey, hit some donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Bouncing, open your mouth and get a big bunch. Suck them dry.
Damn. What a tough loss for Kansas State. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
call me crazy, but I actually seen people in the last couple of weeks talking about Kansas State having a real shot at winning the national championship, which I thought was ridiculous.
Oh my God!
I mean, I think they had a good shot at getting in the playoffs, maybe, but I didn't think they were a threat to get up into the top four.
I thought they had a chance to win the Big 12
national championship. Oh my God!
No. Well, I can tell you who said it, and you'll know exactly as soon as I say it. You'll understand. Jay Fields. Jay Fields is the first guy I've seen say it.
I like old Jay. That one right there though, a little interesting.
No, he's a big West Coast homer. He don't really pull for any team in particular. It don't seem. He says that he's a Fresno guy, and if you're a Fresno guy, I guess you're going to have to pull for other teams because.
There you go. But they wasn't at that K-State loss.
He's a big Kalen DeBoer guy.
Oh
yeah, because Kalen DeBoer came from the West Coast.
Yeah, he's a big DeBoer guy, but DeBoer used to be at Fresno, obviously, so I see that.
So you look at Kansas State. If they covered, right? I mean, BYU is a good team that is coming back, and they look like they're going to be respectful. I mean, if they just covered and lost, then or even come close to it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But they basically got destroyed 38-9. I mean, they never could punch it in. They couldn't break through. They couldn't score. And the Big 12 is a tough conference this year from the standpoint that the teams are so evenly matched. There's a lot of mid top 25 teams in the conference that are respectable. So it could hurt in the end. It could hurt the entire conference's college football playoff seeding.
Yeah.
You're ugly. I turned it at the half. It wasn't even fun to watch anymore. I honestly expected more out of Avery. Come on, you're driving a purple Corvette around, Mr. Big Shot, and you just let BYU destroy you. No.
Hallelujah. They suck donkey balls.
No.
I actually took BYU
Exactly.
in the spread in that game.
Did you? So you won. That's great. You did good. I'm gonna
Yeah, did a fucking hell of a job. Obviously, yeah. Obviously, not them so much.
So what games do we got? What games do we got this week that could have implications for our next week's Donkey Ball show?
How about Oklahoma and Auburn?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hugh Freeze can get on twice. We can go back to him again. Just you can have me on. You can go ahead and schedule me. I'll be right here.
Florida, UCF.
Yeah,
y'all play UCF this weekend.
Yep.
Oh God!
Maybe
yeah.
Hurricane's supposed to hit Thursday, and it's hitting Gainesville pretty much. It's coming up the coast, so hopefully.
So where's this game at?
In Gainesville.
Oh, so maybe the game don't happen.
How about Louisville, Notre Dame?
I don't know.
I'm taking Louisville to spread in that game. I like Jeff Brom. To me, is a hell of a coach. I think he's going to beat Notre Dame. I really do. I really do believe that, honestly. But
then Marcus Freeman will be behind the door next week for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's been so up and down.
I just can't put my finger on Notre Dame every year. I don't understand why. I mean, I understand, obviously. I do understand, but I don't. They are just so hot and cold as a football team every year. They'll go out and beat the hell out of someone, then they'll come back and lose at Northern Illinois. Be in a dogfight with a service academy.
That's Marcus Freeman's MO. I don't know what it is.
Nothing makes sense to me with them. I just can't. I don't know if it's because they don't have really great skill position players and they can't be explosive and
they typically come back and they'll lose to a shitty team and they'll come back and play the game of their life against a pretty good team or a much better team. So I don't.
Yeah, look, Notre Dame's always physical in the trenches on both sides of the ball. They always have good players, but Notre Dame, in terms of a transcendent player, like a game changer type of guy, man, I can't tell you the last time I saw Notre Dame have who's been the most game-changing player Notre Dame's had that, Manti Te'o? Seriously? Was that it?
Mayer
was pretty good, but
Michael Mayer was a good player. Don't misunderstand me. He was a very good player. He really was, but
You want to know what Notre Dame's issue is? Lou Holtz said it in one of his speeches not long ago, and he says the number one thing he regrets. They got comfortable. They stick with the same thing. And they never try to get above it. Oh, we were going to do 6 games. We're happy being in the top 10. We're happy this. They didn't push themselves. They're still stuck in that. They are still stuck because not only are they content, the fans are content, and the school's content.
Well, see, there was always some kind of Rocket Ishmael or Steve Meyer or some big name at Notre Dame that they always got, to your point, Landon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they were able to get and bring in that already had national hype. It goes all the way back to the days of Newt Rockney and stuff, and they'd have names for their offensive and defensive line or their offense and stuff like that. But like you said, they haven't had that transcendent player in a long time. And I don't know if that's a consequence of the current system or the current kind of
you definitely have to go back to Holtz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a long fucking time ago.
That's a long time ago,
guys. Because they get content. They're happy with the type players they're bringing in. They're not worried about that next level.
I don't know if it's the academic deal or what. I really don't with Notre Dame. They just, how we all watch Ole Miss, they always have explosive players that, Kiffin's throwing up a bunch of points and doing all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I watch Notre Dame, I never see that. It's not, and I don't mean that Notre Dame needs to all of a sudden be some finesse football team or some shit like that, because they are very good at the line of scrimmage, and I don't want to take that away. It's just what they seem to be missing is, I wish they would take some of that energy and focus it more on being explosive, not trying to play a game in a phone booth, spread you out, run stack formations and shit like Josh Heupel at Tennessee and Kiffin at Old. Get a little cute. Quit trying to be so strict and stern and tight. Play a little
Landon,
looser.
you're like me. Landon, you're a traditionalist. College football benefits when Notre Dame.
Yeah, I
is
mean,
good.
just adapt
And
with
it's
the
been
game.
a long time.
I agree.
Like, just adapt with the game type of deal. Like, just, recruit. Like, I understand you got to recruit some smart kids and stuff like that because of your academic requirements. But you know what? I mean, get a little edgy guy. Get a little rough dude around the edges in there that's explosive. That he's got a little like a little Tyreek Hill attitude to himself or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like quit trying to go after the buttoned up suit and tie like dorky quirky guy. Like, quit. Get a little rough around the edges. Go
Their
ahead.
special teams are an indicator of that because their special teams aren't special. When Notre Dame was special, they had special teams that was capable of scoring, and whether it was blocking kicks or the returners were off the hook. And I mean, it went on for years. My entire childhood, plumb up into my 30s, Notre Dame always had explosive returners, and I'm not seeing that either. And that's a way to shift the game that Notre Dame has used to their advantage throughout their history. And for example, special teams at Virginia Tech was one of the things that caused them to rise up during the day of Frank Beamer. Absolutely. And that's a avenue that Notre Dame could be pursuing that I don't believe has been explored and that they're historically great at. When you've seen a Notre Dame Miami game, every time you punted the ball, you're like, oh fuck.
Man, tradition is very important. If like you say, if they hung their hat on that at one point, they could do it again. But they don't have anybody focusing on it.
No, they don't. It's I don't know. It's just the weirdest. Like, that's why every year when people talk about, oh, Notre Dame's a good football team. Notre Dame, I'm like, yeah, they are a good football team. Notre Dame's usually pretty decent. Like, you know what I mean? But they just I would just love to see that next level. And I don't know if I ever will. I mean, they may have to prove me wrong. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel with them on that. It's weird with them. I don't know.
All right, guys. We'll meet next week in front of the Hugh Freeze door. Okay.
Sounds good. See y'all then. Thank you for having me. Enjoy your life. Enjoy everything. Alabama 27, Georgia 23 this weekend. Roll Tide.
We got a prediction. All right. So thanks, Nikki and Bob.
All righty.
Your team sucks donkey balls. They play like a mongoloids. You might be fired by Monday and your wife is a street whore.
Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls is a presentation of Smacking Off the podcast. Stream in every week for another victim as we kick them while they are down.